Welcome to How to Find More Direct Clients Than You Can Poke a Stick At podcast, a mix of both solo episodes and expert interviews. Our ideal listener is an early career, ambitious, and passionate online language services provider. She is committed to professional growth and achieving success in the fiercely competitive translation and interpreting industry. She balances multiple responsibilities with resourcefulness, values mentorship, is open to learning, and investing in her professional development journey. She embraces technology and seeks to optimize workflow, eager to connect with like-minded peers and build out her professional network. She is determined to overcome challenges and become a sought-after freelance translator. And here's your host, medical translator and translator business mentor, Jason Willis-Lee.
Teresa Sousa is a marketing and SEO translator from English, German, French, and Spanish into European Portuguese. She is also an SEO educator who offers training services to freelance translators, translation companies, teaching institutions, and professional associations. And welcome to How to Find More Direct Clients, the podcast that makes digital marketing both easier and more enjoyable by blending smart business strategies with just the right dose of tech. I'm your host, Jason Willis-Lee, digital marketing specialist, and today I'm really excited to introduce my special guest. Her name is Teresa Sousa, and she is an SEO specialist as well as a translator. I believe she's Portuguese. Teresa, fantastic to have you on the show. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. It's so nice to be here.
You're very welcome. Can you start by sharing a bit about your business journey and your unique vision for the SEO industry in the era of generative AI? How is that changing SEO for all of us?
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, first of all, the imposter syndrome really kicks in when somebody tells me I'm an SEO specialist. Most of all, I'm an SEO translator.
Okay.
Being an SEO specialist would require me to be on top of all the changes in SEO, which are happening by the second.
I understand.
Actually.
Yeah.
Things have
Absolutely.
probably changed since this morning, since we woke up. Yes, but I'm Portuguese. Yes, I come from Portugal, from Porto.
Beautiful city.
Yeah, nice city, the second biggest city in Portugal, and the prettiest, according to my opinion.
I agree. I love the area Gaia. There's a bridge over the water going over to Gaia, and I remember going there with my family. We had lunch in a Corte Inglés using our card.
Yes.
We live in Madrid, using our card from Madrid, and that was quite exciting. I thought it was beautiful. There's colored houses on the river.
Very nice. Yes, it is very nice. Yeah, anyway, so I translate from English, German, French, and Spanish into European Portuguese, which is my mother tongue. And I've always been very interested in the more creative side of translation. So very soon I realized that technical translation wasn't really for me, although I worked a lot in it, especially from German into Portuguese. But very soon I started to realize that online content fascinated me, and being able to publish content and reach people and have almost immediate feedback and see how your content is helping clients and people has always been very interesting for me. And also from a business owner's perspective, as a freelancer, one of the things I wanted to do really early in my freelance career was to build my own website. And so I did. In 2015, I created my website, tagslanguagesolutions.com, which is, of course, still live. And I started just experimenting with it and making a lot of mistakes, I'm sure, and creating a lot of content. And after some time, I started to see some results. And that was very rewarding. Yeah. And this combining with a new trend in the industry, where clients started to ask for, they didn't want only a translation that was linguistically accurate, and of course the spelling and everything should be correct. That was like a given. Clients wanted translated content to perform online, so there was this added requirement that we started to see, and so I've been learning about SEO for I would say over a decade now, And I try to keep learning, and I started teaching about it also. So this is my life at the moment. I'm combining SEO translation. At the moment, I'm working almost exclusively with SEO translation. So all my clients deal with, they live and breathe online. So it's always online content for me, and specific language, SEO related language services are a big part of my workload. So keyword research and all that. And I combine that with the training part of my business. Since I am an SEO educator, I have an online course, and I also frequently do presentations for translators associations, translation conferences. I speak at universities, and I'm always speaking about SEO everywhere.
Okay, let's get into some specifics. You mentioned keyword research. Can you outline some specific SEO tools or techniques for keyword research? I've used a few, and competitor analysis. And this obviously gives our audience practical steps to improve their online visibility. I'm very big on online visibility. When I coach clients, I help people get onto the Google Search Console, move the ranking up through an intentional content. I've done this for myself, almost on page one, not quite, but almost there for the overall ranking. It goes up
Nice.
about 0.1 or zero point 0.2 positions each day. I look at it every day. So I'm getting quite a bit of traffic. What specific tools do you use yourself and recommend for your colleagues, all of us, and your customers?
There are many tools, of course. Google Keyword Planner is the most obvious one and the first one that comes to mind. And it has quite some advantages. First of all, it's fed by Google itself, so the data are really accurate, and it's technically free. Anyone can use it as long as you have a Google account, a Gmail address. You have access to Google Keyword Planner, and you can use it to check search volume. For anyone who doesn't know what search volume is, it's the number of people that are searching for a given term on online search engines usually in the last 30 days. So Google Keyword Planner will give you this data. If you don't have an account for paid ads, they will give you a range of, so you still get some information, but you can get some data such as for translation, there are between 10 and 1,000 people searching. So sometimes it's really a big range, and it can be tricky to understand, okay, is this really a good keyword or not? So we do have this downside for Google Keyword Planner. Fortunately, there are many other tools. Most of them are paid tools, and they can be quite expensive. We have SEMrush is one of the most popular ones, and translation clients use it a lot, even in the translation industry.
Is that expensive? I've heard that's quite expensive.
It is, yes, it is
Yeah.
quite expensive. I don't have the prices here, but for me, especially for freelancers, I think it can be a big investment
Yeah.
when you're a freelancer to just select one of these tools and just pay for it.
And
What
is
I've
Google
done,
Keyword, excuse me, is Google Keyword Planner free, or is there other paid options as well? And what do the paid options give you?
Google Keyword Planner is free,
Yep.
but to have access to really specific information, you will need to have a paid ad campaign running. So either way, you're
Right.
paying for it.
Yes.
Yes. What these tools usually have is a free trial subscription that you can try for a while, and you
Yep.
can leverage that. Or sometimes there's even, I believe that SEMrush will let you do some researches for free, but it's very limited. Of course, the free versions are always very, very limited. And keyword research is a lot of trial and error. So you are going to need to use the tool a lot and for a long time and try a lot. So usually the more limited versions are a bit tricky to use. Personally, what I'm using is Ubersuggest.
Yep.
And I cannot tell you that it's the best tool out there. For me, at the time, it made sense. especially because I bought a lifetime license. I'm not sure if they still have this pricing available.
Uber
But
suggests is Neil Patel. Is that right? Neil
Neil
Patel
Patel,
is from
exactly. It's
Las Vegas, I
created
think.
by, yeah,
Yeah,
by Neil
yeah.
Patel. And at the time, I had the chance to buy a lifetime license.
Okay.
So yeah, it's paid for, and it was a huge investment. It was a nice investment because I use it for my own website, of course, to check my own keywords, and I use it a lot for client work.
Yeah.
So yeah, we also have Ahrefs. It's very, very commonly used, Mongols, and I forget the other one now that has funded with Mongols. I will remember in a minute.
Okay.
They are all paid tools.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a matter of giving it a try. Maybe subscribe for a free trial, see, play a little bit around the tool and see what you prefer. And yeah, maybe select one of those, but they can be a huge investment. Yeah.
Let's talk about service pages. All of us have a service page as translators. I have a service page, and then I have a separate page for coaching clients. What are the best practices for headings, subheadings, and metadata? So I'm talking about those H1, H2, H3 headings, maybe a focus key phrase for blog
Mhm.
posts, maybe a meta description. What are the best practices to attract our ideal clients for specialized translation services?
Mhm. Well, first of all, I'm a huge fan of being really intentional and strategic when you choose the pages that you want to focus
Mm-hmm.
and you want to optimize. There are a lot of, especially in the freelance translators field, there are a lot of freelance translators that have one page website, and that's fine and it can work. But I always try to encourage people to create sub pages and just keep updating and keep feeding your website and creating new content, adding new pages. And service pages are one great place to start and to really focus on. So first of all, as you say, finding the right keywords, and sometimes the right keyword for us isn't a keyword that has a huge search volume. It's the one that's going to bring you the client that you are looking for, and that really are looking for you. And once they land on your page, they are going to think, okay, this is exactly what I was looking for, and they
Mm-hmm.
are going to contact you. So they will convert. This is a nice way to convert visitors into clients when you are really specific and really intentional. So I would say, first of all, play a little bit around with keywords. Try to really put yourself in your ideal client's feet and think
Mm.
about how are people searching for me? What do they want? What are they looking for? And most of the time, never. Translation just for itself, it's never a good keyword because it's just so vague. And there will be so many results on Google, on the search engine results page, that if you try to optimize your service page for this particular keyword, it will just end up getting lost in the middle of all the content. For instance, if you go for something really specific, like English to French medical translator, something like that, more
Mm.
specific,
Yep.
obviously you will see that the search volume is immensely lower. But if you have 10 people searching for this, and you are able to turn these 10 people into clients, this is a huge success. Or even if you are able to turn one of them into a new client each month, it's already it's paying off. So finding the right keywords, it's a big step. It takes a lot of work, but the good news is that online content is never written in stone. So you can keep trying, you can change it, you can keep reviewing your strategy. As you say, you check your own data every day. I would
Mm.
say that's probably a bit too much, but definitely check it regularly, see what's working, see what's not working, and you can always change things and try
Yeah.
to improve.
Yeah,
Of
my
course.
strategy could be a bit of overkill. Sorry, I interrupted you. Yeah.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. In terms of structuring the page, as you say, definitely headings, because headings are code, and they will be read by the machine, by the search engine, and
Yeah.
at the same time they will be read by the human reader that's actually accessing and visiting your page. So one very important thing is to always keep in mind this equilibrium, this balance between machine and human user. Okay, let's try to please both of them all the time. So anything that will help structure your page, and I would say in service pages especially, never be afraid to write too much. As long as you structure your content and you make it visually appealing, think about answering questions, like having a frequently asked questions
Yeah.
section. Think about adding testimonials from clients, adding case studies, examples, whatever, just a little bit of a more personal story. Talk a little bit about you and why you work in this field and what sets you apart. Just take this real estate that you have, this service page, and just do the most out of it, because I would say they are definitely the most important pages on a website.
Let's talk about content marketing. So, how can a consistent content marketing strategy and strategically choosing topics relevant to our ideal clients, so based on the keywords, how can that help LSPs rank better over time? So it's getting into this sort of going to the gym and doing the content gradually, doing a blog post, start it once a month and then once every 2 weeks, then once a week, and just gradually repurpose that into a LinkedIn post or an Instagram story or something, depending on the platform you're working on. How can we start doing consistent content marketing as freelance translators and interpreters who want to stay relevant and competitive? How can we sort of get these reps in? It's like going to the gym, isn't it? A couple of times
It
a week.
is, yes.
Yeah.
I would say, just like going to the gym, I would say there's no downside on creating content regularly. I mean, there is the time and sometimes the money that you will have to invest. For example, if you have a multilingual website and you are creating content in several languages, and you ask someone to review the other languages, it will require a money investment. But if not money, you will definitely invest time. But it can be incredibly rewarding. First of all, we are translators, so we are basically writers. So writing is good for us. It takes you a little bit out of your comfort zone. It helps with your creativity. So I would say it's very positive to do this exercise of keep writing about your work, your services. Also bring some clarity. It can be a kind of a reflective, kind of introspective exercise to do. And especially in the translation industry, there are so many questions. People don't know a lot about our profession, so it's a never-ending source of inspiration of topics that we can write about. Just think about what I did at the beginning when I started my blog. Is I would every time I would go to a conference or to some kind of industry event, even in my specialization fields, I would go looking for direct clients in fairs and exhibitions and all that. And every time someone asked me a dumb question, but anybody can translate, right? Those we know. We've all been hearing these questions for our careers. I would take that and I would write about it, and then I would repurpose, as you say, repurpose it, use it on social media, or share it on LinkedIn. At the time, it was always my favorite platform. Facebook a few years ago. I would take that and just answer questions that people might have. So it would be a way to educate potential clients, and also to just keep generating new content, because we know that Google search engines in general, they like new content, they like fresh content. They will notice that your website is alive and keeps being updated. And also we know about the EEAT principle. So experience, expertise, authoritativeness,
Yeah.
and trustworthiness. So if you write a lot about our profession, if people interact with your posts, they interact with your blog, they share your content, this will help you create a personal brand and will help build authority, and people will trust you. You will be like a credible source of information. So this takes some time. It will take some time. It will definitely take a lot of work, but I do feel like it's very, very rewarding.
I agree with the Google crawler. The crawler comes around and sees the new
Yes,
content and then adjusts your ranking. If it comes back and you're not posting new content or it's still the same, there's no rotating content. It'll just, your ranking will stay the same or worse, go down. So
exactly.
this is what I teach my clients as well. They have to get a content strategy, just get used to publishing content like going to the gym. I mean, we're all writers. We should be writing, I think, every single day.
Exactly.
But as translators, we should be writing about our profession every single day, even if it's just for ourselves and not for our clients. So let's go on to AI. How has generative AI specifically changed your life as an SEO translator? How easy or difficult is it to navigate the AI world? Obviously, we need to leverage these tools you mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
SEMrush, Google Keyword Planner. How has generative AI changed the landscape for you as an SEO translator?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's a love-hate relationship. Definitely. The tools are very, very useful, ChatGPT and Gemini, and of course, and even most SEO tools now have some AI integrated into it, which of course helps a lot and saves you a lot of time. So in that sense, when I'm stuck and I need to get my creative juices flowing, or I
Yeah.
just need some inspiration for keywords, definitely they help. The other way they are impacting my life is the kind of framework that clients have adopted. And AI is the first step when they are doing any kind of SEO work. So they use AI to generate keywords, they use AI to generate content, and then they send us the files, and the request is review. Do a kind of a revision of,
Yep.
but there is no need to rewrite everything. And most of the times, from my experience, I'm impressed. Sometimes I'm impressed about how easily, given that you use the correct prompts, AI will really sometimes create nice pieces of content. But I have to honestly say that in terms of the time spent, it doesn't save us a lot of time. There's always something. There's always a keyword that doesn't make any sense, and now it's all over the content, so we need to change everything. So there's always this back and forth that would just be smoother and more streamlined if I was to do the whole process from the beginning. So just
Yeah.
research the keywords myself, already thinking about the content, because this is one of the advantages of having translators or copywriters working with SEO. When we are thinking about the keywords, we are already thinking how it's going to look like when it's in the middle of the text. So this is a nice added value that we bring. So the whole process from scratch, comparing to working on the results from AI. Personally, I never found that it was saving me a lot of time. It can be very frustrating sometimes.
Can you tell us a specific tool that integrates AI, generative AI, a specific tool that
An
has an AI
SEO
component?
tool.
Yeah, an SEO tool.
Yes, I saw that SEMrush, for example, has
Okay.
a new feature where it will generate like a set
Right.
of keywords, and it's AI generated. Yes, so it's helpful. Yes, it can give us the illusion that it's saving us time, but for me, at this point, I would say human touch is still
Yeah.
yeah.
Superior. Yeah, absolutely. All right, so let's go into the final 5 questions. This is, we're okay for time. Let's just do some quick fire questions. Using just one word, how would you describe SEO? One word. What's the first word that comes to your mind when you think about SEO?
Organic.
Mm, organic.
Yes.
Okay, I like that answer. Yeah. Yeah, audience, you can get a really good ranking without spending any money. That's what I have to
True.
tell you because I'm
True.
I'm doing that. If you just apply a content marketing strategy regularly and be consistent, most things in business is about being consistent, right? It's just doing the
Exactly.
things over, month after month,
It's true.
year after year, and you see a benefit. What's the biggest myth that you think? I like busting myths and saying things. When it comes to SEO, what's the biggest myth that you find, or misconception, or limiting belief, maybe when you're working with clients trying to teach them SEO? What's a myth or something you think that's not right? That's
Hmm.
you have the opposite opinion of somebody or lots of people when it comes to SEO. Do people think it's difficult when it really isn't?
Mm, I think people are looking for a quick,
Quick fix?
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. They're always trying to crack the code and trying to, those black hat tactics that
Mm,
we could use a few years ago.
yeah.
Uh, there's really no way to trick the machine because, as I say, you can trick the machine, but if people come to your website and they leave it, they don't interact with it, they are just not interested, it's gonna end up backfiring on you. So sometimes
Yeah.
people just think that there is this kind of quick and very cheap way of doing things that we can just call Google and ask them
And go
to
straight
put
to
us
number
in
one. Yeah,
the
go to number one
yeah.
like a rocket. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. So,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, I would say that's the worst thing. People just need to accept that it will take some time and it will take some work. You can, of course, work smarter and not harder and just reach the results
yeah,
faster
yeah,
if you are strategic. But being strategic doesn't mean you being a smart ass and
yeah.
using kind of tricking the machine. It really doesn't pay off.
I'm all about productivity, working smarter, not harder. Best business investment. What's the best business investment you've ever made in yourself or your business? What's the best investment you've ever made?
Okay, that's a tough one. I would say my website. It was um, it was an investment in terms of money at the
Yeah,
time because I worked with a web developer and all
yeah.
that, and it took me a long time to create it and to create content. It's definitely the biggest investment I've done in my career. Um, but I would say yes, definitely creating my own website.
Agreed. Yeah, website is a free employee audience. You need to be
Yes,
using the website to generate leads, and it should be generating leads daily through the
exactly.
blog, through the traffic you're getting, and then to, through the engagements I'm now seeing some nice engagement on my blog. I'm getting comments,
Nice.
not every single post, but many posts, which is nice to see because it shows that the strategy I'm trying to adopt is working. What are you reading right now, Teresa? What book are you reading, or what was the last book you read if you're not reading a book at the moment?
I'm reading Frankenstein by Mary
Mary
Shelley.
Shelley, one of the classics.
I,
Okay.
I love it. Honestly, I had promised myself I would read three classics because I've been reading a lot of more recent writers, and
Okay.
I try to read a lot in Portuguese, just keep in touch with the language. but I promised myself I would read 3 classics, and Frankenstein was one of them, and I'm really very, very impressed with it. It's not a marketing or a kind of
No,
a,
but it's nice to
but it's
disconnect
very,
sometimes. I
it is
remember
interesting.
reading Pablo Coelho, and I'm wondering, was he Portuguese or is he Brazilian? I'm trying
Paulo
to
Coelho is Brazilian,
is
yeah.
Brazilian. There we
Yeah,
go. There we
yeah,
go.
yeah.
Okay, so final thoughts or key takeaways for the audience. What's one sort of key takeaway from this? Everything you've said, lots of information, very useful. One sort of notable nugget or key thought for the audience
Yeah.
to take away.
I'm sure I'm repeating myself, but for me, the most important is to really keep the balance. I think it's not a good idea to just let yourself be consumed by the algorithm and Google guidelines and the newest SEO trends. Yes, you need to keep reading and learning about it because things are always changing. That is true. But what pays off, I honestly think, is like thinking about the person that is reading and trying to reach that person. That will eventually pay off globally. So it will end up pleasing the machine. So I always try to encourage my students and anyone I talk about SEO with, just keep this balance between pleasing the machine and pleasing the human beings.
Yeah, always put yourself in your audience's shoes,
Yeah,
audience.
exactly.
Always read, always think about them from their perspective. Always make it about them. Where can listeners connect with you, Teresa? What's the best platform and learn more about your work and your expertise? What's the best way to? Is it your website? Is it LinkedIn?
Yeah, my website is my digital home. Let's put it like this. Everything
Okay.
is there, especially because I don't fully trust social media. I'm all for posting on social media, but I always advise people to have their own content. But I'm fairly active on LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm.
So anyone who wants to connect with me, I'm always happy to accept new contacts there and interact on there. I feel like it's a very nice platform. So yeah, my LinkedIn profile will be
Yeah,
the way.
that's a good piece of advice. Don't build your business on rented land. You, by
Yeah,
all means, use
exactly,
social
exactly.
media, but don't build your business on Elon Musk or Zuckerberg's platforms
Yes,
because these platforms shut down and then suddenly your business disappears. You need your
exactly.
own assets, like an email list, like a website. Those are personal assets that we have. Finally, your course, Teresa, what is the specific outcome? I will be taking your course very shortly. I've done the trial version, whatever you give away for free. I've looked at that. It
Hmm.
looks very good. Tell us the specific outcome if we do your SEO course. What's the name of the course? And tell us what the outcome is after we do it.
Okay, so the course is called Become an SEO Savvy Translator. It's a
Hmm.
very long title. And the outcome is exactly that you will become an SEO savvy translator. So it's built, I created it specifically for translators. So it's
Mm.
not a general course about SEO. What I did with it is I tried to learn as much as I could about SEO, and I filtered the information that was important for us as linguists. What I see happening with my students is usually that 50% of people come because they want to offer SEO as a service,
Yeah.
or they are just working on with online content. They are translating websites, blog posts, and they want to add value to it. Or they actually want to offer new services such as keyword research and content optimization. So they are looking to use the course to provide new services. And the other half of students come because they want to improve their own websites. And from both of these type of students, I've had great feedback. Thankfully, I'm very, very grateful. I've had more than 200 students already
Hmm.
in the online course, and I've
Great.
trained several hundred more in workshops that I do for translation agencies and all that. But specifically from the course, this is the feedback I have in terms of expectations and in terms of results. People are usually very happy with it, which I'm very grateful for.
That's great. Let's get a link out to the course in the show notes. And just to say, as Teresa said, it's an interesting diversification tool, SEO. You can just add a service. Another way to do this is another diversification that I've diversified into is affiliate marketing. And that's an interesting, so always look for other revenue streams, other ways that you can get into an SEO, and doing SEO, keyword research and content creation for customers is just another string to your bow. All right, let's wrap it up for today's episode of How to Find More Direct Clients. Stay tuned for more engaging discussions in the ever-evolving landscape of language and digital marketing. Until next time, stay on your game and don't forget to future-proof your career in the AI digital era. Bye for now, and thank you to my special guest, Teresa.
Thank you.
Here's a fun fact about Jason. Jason played cello in the Bath Symphony Orchestra in the UK. Thanks for tuning in to the How to Find More Direct Clients Than You Can Poke a Stick At podcast. We'll be back soon. In the meantime, why not head over to www.entrepreneurialtranslator.com to access all our tools and resources to monetize and future-proof your freelance translation business. And don't forget to hit the plus button in Apple Podcasts or iTunes, or subscribe in Spotify to be notified when new episodes drop. For regular tips and insights, business strategy, or marketing techniques straight to your inbox, please sign up at www.entrepreneurialtranslator.com.